Hey Hero fans, this is Todd. Today I'm going to review Vykron. Now Vykron's a pretty cool figure because it comes with lots and lots of accessories, so he's very interchangeable, lots of things you can do with him. So let's go ahead and open this up. Oh, there we go. There's a lot of stuff inside this box. So check this out. Now I bought the Space Vykron one on purpose because I actually just used my Space Vykron to make a custom figure, and I like to keep the actual figure in the original box that it came in, or the original clothes it came in. So I've actually bought multiple Vykrons for that particular reason. And you can see that it comes with the Barbarian suit, pretty cool, and it also comes with the tank suit, so you have all different kinds of ways you can put different accessories on them. So with that, let's go ahead and actually open the box up. I'm going to show some basic stuff about Vykron, and I'm going to show some really cool ways to customize them and make the figure go a lot further. So let me go ahead and open this up. And again, you can see all the great accessories and parts that come with this figure. And again, I got the space one. Let's go and pull them out of there. These little rubber bands, I do suggest that you keep them. They come in really handy later on if you have to do any kind of customizing or fixing of figures. You can use these for all kinds of things. In fact, this one right here I'm probably going to use for a battle armor He-Man from the 80s in order to tighten his waist. So I'm going to save this for right now, the figures, and keep them in the clothes they originally came in the box, and use the other accessories to make other customs. So let me go ahead and show you the other figures that I have made from my Vykrons. The Vykrons of many packages. So here's the tank Vykron. Oops, it's like his nose has seen better days. I just pulled him out of a small box I had him in just to bring in here to videotape him. That's probably where I got bent. And then of course the Barbarian one. Now the Barbarian one, originally you could only, I think he was the Comic-Con version at the time. So he usually came prepackaged in his Barbarian suit. There he is, right here. So there are the three forms of Vykron. Alright, so let's talk about customizing. The first thing I wanted to do with my Vykron when I first started customizing him is because he was made out of black plastic, sometimes you'll see right up here in the shoulder joints like kind of a black plastic underneath the paint. It's kind of hard to see a little bit in this photograph. You can kind of see the black edge right there. And that's because underneath that paint, if it gets scratched or anything, it's just black plastic. So that was a really huge issue. And a lot of fans were pretty upset about the whole black plastic, but that's what happened. So I found a figure with very close skin coloring next to his Vykron, and it happened to be a Vykor. And I took and mixed the figure with Vykor, and now I have a new custom figure that does not have the black plastic. And he actually moves a lot easier because it doesn't have that thick paint on there either. I don't have to worry about the paint scraping. So this is my first custom I made of the figure, where I've actually used Vykor, and then took the parts of Vykron and put them on him. So like the forearms are Vykron's forearms, and then the boots are Vykron's boots, and the belt and midsection is also Vykron's, but everything else is Vykor. So that way then I don't have the black plastic problem or potential scraping of the shoulders. So that was the first custom I made. The second one, I wanted to make a better tank guy. And yeah, that tank guy is pretty cool, but I really wanted something that was a little closer to what I was looking for. So what I did was I took the Batman figure, and I used him as a base and mixed some parts. I believe there's some Hordak parts in here too, and basically made it so that he has the cool bat belt going on, which really matches the military theme. And then I used a head from a wrestling figure, and then I added some standard moto boots so they would fit right. And there is my new tank guy. And he is ready for battle. And, of course, I have his tank head, too, that can go on there. And, of course, this figure we call Tank Top. So there's Tank Top. And then I wanted to make a really cool way to do some kind of a jet fighter pilot something figure out of the other Vykron armor. So I used a Man-at-Arms body, and then I created this. I watched my other video and you could see how to make your head using black heat shrink tubing so that it looks almost like a Boba Fett or something. So I kind of like that way you don't waste another head trying to use the figure. And then, of course, I just made sure that he had boots that would fit accordingly. So there you go. Those are my 3 customs that I made out of my Vykron figures. Now, some other ways you can customize these, which is kind of fun, is I actually used King Hiss head and stuck it inside the helmet. And that way he has the green to match the suit like he's wearing some kind of mask. And it does take a little bit of effort to make it fit. As you can see, I had to sand this down quite a bit. I had to sand this down quite a bit in order to make it fit into the helmet correctly. You can see now that it's sanded down, it does fit in the helmet very nicely. It has that cool green mask across his face that does fit nicely on the green body of the Man-at-Arms in order to make this custom. Alright, another fun thing you can do is you can take, now Vykron, when you take off his helmet or his hair, he has this really strange shaped head underneath. Let's see if I can get it off, there we go. And there's his head, and it's not very useful for a lot of things. And if you don't put a helmet on him or his hair on him, he has this really odd looking chunk of a bald head. And you can see it matches the inside of the helmet too to fit inside there. So if you use his normal parts, it looks fine, but sometimes you want to maybe do something different with him. So what I did was I actually sanded the head down and fit He-Man hair on him. Now this right here is not actually He-Man hair. This here is hair from Faker, and it's from the Faker that has the battle damaged face. But I like it because it kind of gives that orange hair, kind of brownish orange, and he kind of is reminiscent of an old He-Man figure. Now this is before they released that head with Ular that looks like the He-Man from the 80s. So this was kind of my He-Man from the 80s look. And I kind of wanted this hair to be orange, so that's why I used the hair from Faker. But there you go, so that's something else you can do with the heads. So those are some really cool ways to customize your Vykron. One thing I like to do also is I like to take and use a standard head from the Royal Guard. And this head then will take the place of Tank Top or somebody else for the standard figure. And it actually looks pretty cool on him. Let me show you how it looks. You can see his nose is starting to straighten back out again. Ugh. So let me pop this head on there. And that doesn't look half bad. So if you need to get extra heads, a good head to use is one of your Royal Guard heads. And it doesn't look too bad. It's like he's some kind of Royal Guard dressed to Special Ops Tank Man. Alright, so that is my review of the Vykron figure. Just be careful though. Again, he does have the black plastic that is painted. It does scratch very easily. If you can, I would suggest finding ways to replace that with other figures so you don't have issues with the paint coming off later on. It is a very thick paint, so the joints are extremely tight because of that. And it does have a different shine than the plain figures do that do not have that painted coated look to them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see, or you guys will see me next video. Alright, thanks. Bye.